Hello dear students, look at the picture here. You can see many living organisms in this picture. Some of them are flying, some are on the ground, some are on the land and some are on the some are in the water. Okay, so every living organisms, they have special place to live in. Okay, the place in the environment where a living organism lives naturally and grow is called habitat. So what is habitat? Habitat is a place in the environment where living organisms lives and grow naturally. For example, if you take a tiger, its natural habitat is the forest. But nowadays we see the tiger in the zoo, right? But zoo is not its natural habitat. It is an artificially made habitat for them or artificially made house for them. Actually, a habitat should provide suitable living conditions such as proper food, proper temperature, shelter, and correct climatic conditions, and all the types of movements required for a natural life of that particular living organisms and for their, or you can say that whatever naturally they need for their survival. See, if you take the tiger, if it is in the jungle, they can move by themselves, they can eat whatever they want, they have the shade of the trees. If they want to hide, they can hide and take rest. The climatic conditions will be favorable to them. So in short, you can say that a habitat actually provides them a natural home or natural environment for that particular organism for its survival. Okay, there are different types of habitats. If you see, some of them, you can see that they live in water, so we call it aquatic habitat, and some of them they live on the ground or on the land, so we call them terrestrial habitat. If they are flying in the air, we call them aerial habitat, and if they stay both on land, if they stay on the trees, we call them arboreal habitat. So depending upon the habitat, the nature of the habitat, it can be divided into different groups. Okay. Now if you see the things in a habitat or the living things in a habitat, if you observe them, the living things in that particular habitat is called the biotic components of the habitat. Means in a you see the picture here, you can see the soil there, land is there, air is there, water is there, and then many living organisms are there. So if you observe it carefully, there are two types of components in this habitat. Some components are living components and some are non-living components. So the living components of the habitat is called the biotic component, and the non-living components are called abiotic components. In living components, you can see many plants are there, animals are there, microorganisms are there, fish will be there, many small plants you can see. These all, some other creatures, octopus, you can see octopus, frog, fish, all that. One lotus is there, one crane is here, one frog is there, one eagle is flying there, there is a tortoise, right? There is a crocodile hiding there. All these are biotic component of the habitat. Whereas you can see water, some some rocks are there here, some soil is there, air is there. All these are abiotic component of the habitat. Now let us see the different types of habitat. We just named it previously, like terrestrial habitat. The land surface serve as the terrestrial habitat. Uh, Means you can see many varieties of plants and animals that live on the land. So for those animals, the land is the habitat, and even in the terrestrial habitat you can see different types of habitat like deserts, forests, mountains, grasslands. All these are different types of terrestrial habitat. So habitats can be divided into groups like terrestrial habitat, aquatic habitat, aerial habitat and arboreal habitat. Again, terrestrial habitat can be divided into desert, forest, mountains, grassland, like that. Now, if you take aquatic habitat, it can be classified into marine and freshwater. Uh, Marine means in the seas and all, and in freshwater means you can see ponds, lakes, rivers, etc. These are all aquatic habitats. Okay, and they are the house of or the home of aquatic organisms like fish, ducks, algae, and there are many small organisms also. Now, other types of habitat which we discussed is aerial habitat. Aerial habitat means organisms like birds, bats and all. Most of the time they spend their life in the air. So they are called aerial habitat, and these animals or these organisms which live in the air most of the time, they are called aerial organisms. Now, the next type of habitat is arboreal habitat. So, what is arboreal habitat? Some of the organisms, they spend most of the time on the trees. For example, if you see some birds, they stay on the land, maybe sometimes they fly also, but most of the time they live on the trees. Other animals like monkeys, squirrels and all, some of the insects also, they can be seen most of the time in the on the trees. Okay, so such organisms are called arboreal animals or arboreal organisms, and such habitat is called arboreal habitat. Now, let us discuss different types of habitats in detail. Now, if you take the terrestrial habitat, we told that there may be desert, mountain, forest, and even grasslands. Okay, so here you can see the picture of a desert habitat. You see, desert. What is a desert? Desert is an area where very less water will be there. You can say waterless area of land, which is covered with sand, and very less vegetation will be there. Plants and all will be very less. Very less plants will be there. So, what is a desert? Desert is a waterless area of land covered with sand and having very less vegetation. Okay. Now, if you think of the animals or living organism, plants and animals and other creatures which live in the desert, they all will have some special features to adjust with that particular environment. So that adjustment is called adaptation. Okay, any habitat, if they are there, every organisms have some special features which make it easy for them to survive in their natural habitat. That special features is called adaptation. Okay, so adaptation is the ability of adjusting to the environment by themselves. Okay, and how do they do that? They have some special features to adjust themselves. Okay, See, if you think of the desert, what is special about the desert? Very less water or scarcity of water. Second feature of a desert is it will be very hot. Okay, very high temperature will be there. So, what the animals and plants or the creatures living there have to do? They should not lose water in their from their body, right? So, they have to protect themselves from excessive loss of water. Okay, so they have some special features in their body. How to survive in the hot and dry area? They have some special features. So let us see. See, if you observe camels, you will come to know what special features are there. Even the rats which stay in the desert, they also have some special features. So let us see here in the picture. You can see one snake is there, one rat is there, and one tree is there. Look at them carefully. You look at them. Where do they stay? They live, these rats and snake. See, on top of the land, it will be very hot. So what they do, they make living in burrows. During the daytime, they dig. See, their burrows are very deep, not on the surface of the earth. See, they have come into, see, these areas. Okay, too deep they have made burrows, and they stay there during the daytime to survive themselves or to protect themselves from the very hot climate. These burrows will be very cool during the day, and they can protect themselves because it is too deep under the ground. Okay, so the desert snakes and rats, they come out during the night for searching their food. Okay, if you see their life, if you observe them carefully, you can see that they don't send out waste. So much waste will not come, like urine and all will be very less for these animals because they consume very less water because they are in the desert. So these are all their special features which help them, or their adaptation techniques which help them to live in desert. Now if you think of the plants of the desert, you will see them, they may not have very broad leaves, because if they have broad leaves, the water from the leaves will get evaporated, that is transpiration. Through transpiration they will lose lot of water. Most of the plants, if you see the cactus and all, they may not have leaves only. Instead of leaves, they have spines or thorns, and these thorns are modified leaves which help them to reduce water loss from their body. You know that from the leaves they lose water by transpiration. So if they don't have leaves only, they may not lose water. Okay, because they lose very less water, they can survive for a long time without water. Okay, and in most of the plants, if you see, the photosynthesis take place in the leaves, but in desert plants, leaves may not be there. They may have thorns or spine, so the stems will work as the leaves. It means they will do the work of the leaves, that is preparation of food. All functions of the leaves will be performed by their thick stems. Okay, their stems are modified in such a way that they can prepare food, they can control the loss of water. If you touch them and check, you may feel that little waxy layer is there. Waxy means wax like layer will be there, which will prevent the loss of water. And they also have one more speciality, is that most of the desert plants will have very long roots, because they have to go in search of water in the desert. So the root will go too deep to get water. So I'll show you one plant, and You might have seen it also, many are there in our school also, this type of plant. Do not touch them when you go near them, but you can observe them. See these plants carefully. They have modified leaves, that is, spines are there. Now see this plant. This is a cactus plant you might have seen in our school. See its root. Okay, they are very long and deep, and in all directions you can see they go very deep in search of water. And here you see the stems. Here these are all stems only, they don't have leaves. Okay, the stems are very soft and thick stems, and they store water, and they only, instead of in place of leaves, these stems only carry out the photosynthesis. Okay, they only perform photosynthesis, they only prepare food. Okay, and here if you see on this whole plant, you can see small thorns are there or spines are there, which will help the plant to reduce loss of water. Okay, so this plants, children, whenever you go near these plants, please be careful. Some of these cactus plants are poisonous, you should not touch them. You may get hurt also, and it can be sometimes dangerous, so do not touch them, just observe them. Never touch them without any elders with you. Okay, or you should talk with your elders. Without your elders you should not go and touch them. And some of these plants, they give beautiful flowers also, never smell them too. Okay, take care of that. Okay, so these are the special features of desert habitat. Okay, now the next type of habitats we will discuss in the next class.